Today's daily recap is for BTG, Beyond the Gates. It's for Tuesday, May the 20th, 2025. Not too much happened today. I think, they've slowed things down the way it happens, a little like the normal pace of a soap. When this soap first aired, they were throwing so much at us because they were introducing so many storylines at us. But anyway, crazy Leslie had the nerve to show up into Laura's room, hospital room. And Laura's looking at her. She was laying there and she could feel her. She turned and she looks at her and she goes, "Hi, just checking on you." And Laura kind of sits up like, "Wait, what?" Leslie goes over to the couch that's in there, you know, cozy couch in a hospital room, but okay, right? Most have chairs, uncomfortable chairs. But anyway, she takes the pillow, puts it in front of her, both hands on the side of the pillow, like puffing it up. And she's walking over to Laura. And Laura's looking at her and she goes, "What?" She gets close to her with this pillow and she goes, "Oh, what did you think?" And she puts the pillow behind. "I felt you needed a pillow." "What, did you think I was going to smother you with it?" See, uh-uh. First of all, it would be, uh, that pillow belongs on the couch. If I needed another pillow, I will call the nurse. And I would have taken the pillow off and thrown it back over to the in the direction of the couch. Uh-uh. See, and then she ends up talking about, Laura said, "I know who you are, and I know what you and your daughter did." And she goes, "Yeah, but there's, you know, rumors that some people are saying that my daughter ran you off the road on a motorcycle." Or first she said, "What do you remember from the accident?" And Laura says, "Well, for one, I couldn't see anybody because the motorcycle came up from behind, shining the lights in the mirror. I never saw the person." "Oh, okay, okay." Because, there are rumors being spread that my daughter did it because she wanted your job. And Laura's looking at her. And so she goes, "Well, I just want you to know that my Eva doesn't have an evil bone in her body like that. She's not capable of doing something that diabolical." But she's looking at her kind of like, "But I do." It was just like a weird, eerie, taunting thing, right? Now, mind you, Kat, remember she had left Tomas. Tomas, uh, uh, he runs into Eva and they're talking, and he ends up, she shows him, he goes, "That's a nice picture of you." And she gives her same spiel. And then they both, I guess he had an abusive father. So they both were bonding over Leslie's abuse to her. She goes, "My mother has been volatile like this all my life. Like right now, she's not even speaking to me." He says, she says, "But I can remember growing up, just doing something that made her mad, or you just never know. You're living on pins and needles when all I wanted was my mother's love. And then there'd be glimpses. She would give it to me. And we were like a happy family. And those are the moments that I lived for." And it's like, okay, yeah, because she ain't your mama, girl. So anyway, Tomas reaches over once again, touches her hand. Or I think this time Tomas was talking about his father. And Eva reached over and touched his hand. And then he put his other hand on top of hers. And she goes, "What would Kat say if she came in here and saw this moment between us. He says, well, he said, she wouldn't like it. He says, but here's the thing, she can't tell me who to be friends with, right? He goes, you are a human being, Eva. And no, I don't believe, because he's the one that told her. He said, Kat and he goes, I invited her to dinner. We had a great afternoon and we were reconnecting, but I had to go back to work and I wanted to have dinner with her to pick up where we left off. But she blew me off because of you. And Kat's like, Eva's like, because of me? And he goes, yeah, because she wanted to go to the police station to try to get you arrested. He just dimed all on Kat, saying she recorded Leslie implicating her in running Laura over. And Eva's like, I did not run Laura off the road. I don't even know how to ride a motorcycle. My stepfather had a motorcycle. I'm surprised she didn't say, and my mother knew how to ride a motorcycle, but I never learned how to ride a motorcycle. And so he goes, I know you wouldn't have done nothing like that, right? So that's when, they're continuing to bond and blah, blah, blah. And then when the conversation was over, Tomas says, well, I have to, pick up my takeout and go home and work at home. He goes, what I normally do. He says, but if you ever need an attorney, call me. I will give you the friends and family discount rate. And so she just looked at him and he got up and he walked away. I like Tomas with Eva better than I do Kat. I do. Now, Kat, she's no dummy. Kat goes to see Laura. And guess she walks in the door up there. Guess who's there sitting by Laura's bed, got her hand on the bed. See, oh no, I would have already been pushing the call button. And Kat says, what are you doing here? And she goes, why, Kit Kat, you've been, what'd she say, invading people's proper privacy? You've been and just, recording people without their permission again? So Kat says, get out of Laura's room now. And Eva stands up saying, you've been a busy person with your theories. And so Kat says, what part of get out of Laura's room don't you understand? And Leslie looked at her and she walked by Kat and she looked at Laura, and she said, good talking to you, Laura. Or don't forget what I said. And so when she leaves, Kat looks at Laura and says, are you okay? She goes, yeah, but she was creepy. There's something not right. She goes, did she hurt you? She goes, no, but I could tell she tried to intimidate me. And so she goes, so Kat says that she thinks Eva ran her off the road. And so Laura says, Leslie brought that up. She says, and first I kind of thought she was going to implicate Eva, her daughter. She said, but Kat, the more she talked, the more she sounded like she did it. And it was like she was taunting me with it. And so Kat says, Jacob, because she went back to talk to Jacob, my brother-in-law, Jacob, was saying the same thing, that it might be Leslie herself that did that. because they both had the same thing to gain. She goes, and Laura says, no, I thought that too. She said, did you tell her that you felt she had something? He goes, no, I didn't mention that at all to her. She goes, mm-mm. So Kat says, I'm going to tell security to make sure she never comes back in your room again. And I'm thinking, all Leslie gonna do is put on another stupid wig and some scrubs and she could get by anybody. Let's be real, right? Now, it would be interesting if, what's her name? Cherie, the head nurse. Remember when Dana said she gave her some other fake name and she was on the surgical team that did the surgery. She was reassigned to take care of Laura. See, that was odd, unusual. She never showed her a badge. All that might come out. And for sure, Cherie knew what Eva looked like because Eva had been there. Eva was working in Nicole's office at the hospital, in and out of there, right? So and actually it was Cherie that told Eva about this nurse she had never seen before, which is what made Eva think it was Leslie. So anyway, um, we have Derek and Ashley. You know, Ashley had left. Derek actually did pack his things. Oh, he was packing when Jan, Ashley's mother, came by to bring him spaghetti and meatballs. Now, mind you, instead of putting it in the refrigerator, she put it on the table and put that in the refrigerator, girl. But anyway, she's looking around. She goes, hey, are you and Ashley going on a trip? Because Derek had all his clothes on the bed he was packing. And he never said that they were. He never said that they were, but she goes, oh, he goes, oh, you must still be unpacking. It does take a while to unpack everything. I understand that. And he just didn't tell Jan, Ashley's mother, that she was wrong, that he was leaving, right? And she was saying, look, you and Ashley will work through the kinks and blah, blah, blah. Just keep talking to each other and whatever. So, of course, Ashley is at Uptown and we get Andre walking in. Ash, Ash, touching her shoulder. And he looks, she turns around. What's wrong, Ash? Oh, and he's, oh, honey, oh, come here. Ooh. Going in for the inappropriate hug. I mean, just, come on. So anyway, they talk and he's saying, you should talk to him. You know, it's one of those, no, he told me I should talk to you because he's hoping it won't work, chick. Right? So she goes, you know what? I should go talk to Derek because I do love him. I do. And he goes, and I'm going to make sure you get home safely because it's dark outside. Didn't she arrive there in the dark? She's a grown woman. Andre, right? She got a car. So anyway, Andre takes Ashley back to her apartment. Now, question. You know Derek feels that Andre might subtly be after Ashley, right? And Andre knows that because he's doing it subtly so Derek would know. Derek and Ashley are having problems. Do you think it would be appropriate for Andre to bring her home? Not only bring her home, Andre walks through the front door right behind Ashley. What if Derek were there? He's probably hoping Derek was there because that would put salt in the wound, right? So Derek was already at the precinct talking to Jacob. He wanted to talk to his friend. Jacob was saying, trying to encourage him. You and Ash need to talk and blah blah blah. And he goes, yeah, I do love her and whatever. Just like Andre allegedly said, you and Derek need to talk. So, um, he gets up to go home. Derek does. Well, Aunt Ashley's talking to Andrea. She's walking through her place. She goes, "Wait a minute. Something is not right here." And he goes, "What?" She goes, "Something's missing." And so she goes, "Wait a minute. It's Derek's clothes. He left me. Derek's gone. Oh, Derek's gone. No, he's not coming back." Oh, so look who's squeezing the life out of Ashley. Andre. "Come here, Ash. Oh, Ash. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Now Derek is outside the door. The only reason Derek didn't walk in the door is, I guess, he got cold feet and decided, you know what, I don't want to go through this again with her rejection. You never know what she's going to do, right? He doesn't open the door and go in. So he doesn't walk in and see this situation here. Okay. He missed that. Thank goodness. Um, Let me see. What else? Oh, one thing that Derek asked Jacob, "Can I sleep on your couch?" Jacob looked at him and said, no. He says, "What do you mean, no? We're boys. We're best friends." He goes, yeah. And Naomi's best friends with Ashley. And I would have to be in the other room hearing it from Naomi about you being on the couch. He goes, He says, "You're not putting me in the middle of this, me or Naomi." He goes, "Go back and talk to Ashley, Derek. Talk to Ashley." So anyway, look, I don't care about those two. I hope they can go ahead and break up for all I care. Get out of here. Now, Anita's friend did show up. That she met her at the they met her at the country club, and they talked her into staying one more day. She goes, "Well, I guess I could get a hotel." And she goes, "Nope, you staying right here with us." So we're gonna see. I think that's gonna turn into a disaster. I really do. They should have had a short, sweet visit and then planned on another visit in the future. You can't cram down too much, because then all the old feelings will bubble up and be an issue. Okay. So we'll see where that goes. I just don't feel that that's really going to go too much anywhere. You know, I just really, really don't. So anyway, that's all I had for Beyond the Gates. Let me get into comment corner. Comment corner. Karen says, "I really think Ashley is either on the autism spectrum or at least OCD. She really can't handle change in a routine or her environment. She reacts really overly emotional. So, if so, no matter who it is, she won't be able to handle them in her space until she works on herself." You could be right, Karen. I bet Leslie had shared something that the public wasn't privy to. Ted needs to up his gift giving game. I'm with you, Daily Recap Lady. You should have given her a shopping spree. Yep. Cleo says a framed picture of her wearing Cat's dress, and she laughed, right? And then Black Purple Turquoise said Vanessa had some nerve insinuating that Doug was running around on her, but she's more than free to run around on him with a bunch of other men, and never once said anything until Doug already admitted he's known for quite some time that she was getting around. Oh, please. She needs to 100% with her not sit down with her nonsense about that and zip her lips. No, she was happy, saying, "Woof, feel relieved." Doris says, "So Trisha Mann related to it's David Mann. I don't know." And then Lucy says, "Only in soap opera land do people take gambling chips home in their purse." I know. You have to cash them out. Oh my goodness. And then Lynn is laughing. That's right. Ronald says Trisha Mann, which is Leslie slash Dana, oh, is a great actress. And can tell wait, and can tell well, you can tell that she is having the time of her life playing Leslie. Yeah. Wow. Ronald also says, have you noticed that Danny clocked Joey and Vanessa talking at Uptown and Doug and Joey talking at the casino? She's figuring things out. Yeah, I did notice that because she looked back like, what's going on? And then Ron says, I want to see a rivalry between Pam and Vanessa. A Shanice and Derek relationship. Ooh, I don't know about that. A Mona and Randy relationship, and more Anastasia. Who's Anastasia? And more Anastasia. Which character is Anastasia? Let me know. All right, everybody, that's it for Comment Corner. Comment Corner. I will be back tomorrow with another daily recap of BTG Beyond the Gates.